Okay, very good evening, all the respected today's resource person, Dr. M. Sujatha Madam Garu, very senior most botany fraternity, more than 35 years experienced personality, like my teacher, Dr. Sujatha Madam Garu, will going to explain the another topic of Bryophyta, that is the Polytrichum, morphology, anatomy, and reproduction. So, my dear friends, listen carefully. During the class, if you have any doubt, interact with our respected madam. So, madam, please welcome and start your session, madam. Please welcome.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. My dear students, welcome. Today, we are going to start Polytrichum, which is a bryophyte. Bryophytes are divided into three classes: Hepaticopsida, Anthocerotopsida, and Bryopsida. Under Bryopsida, we are going to study a type called as Polytrichum. Here on the screen, you are seeing the Polytrichum plants with a sporophyte, white colored sporophyte on the gametophyte, green colored gametophyte you are seeing. So, first of all, the classification or the systematic position of the Polytrichum. It comes under the division Bryophyta, class Bryopsida, order is Polytrichales, family is Polytrichaceae, and genus is Polytrichum. Where it occurs means occurrence first of all. It is worldwide in distribution. 311 species have been identified. In India, 5 species, that is Polytrichum alpinum is available, and this will grow in cool and temperate and tropical regions. It will grow. So it prefers usually to grow on shady places, and it can grow also on trunks of epiphyte, that is trunks of trees. So it is called also, some of the species are epiphytes also. Here the plant body of a Polytrichum, since it is a bryophyte, the plant body is a gametophyte. So this gametophyte, it will have parts, that is underground rhizome part with rhizoids, and aerial part, that is called as the aerial stem like structure, and above that is also called as cowline structure, above which leaves are arranged, that is spirally arranged leaves are present. So here male and female plants are, you are seeing the difference, and beside that your last diagram what you are seeing is the leaf. So about the gametophyte, it consists of rhizome, underground rhizome with the rhizoids, as well as aerial stem-like structure, and above which spirally arranged leaves. The gametophyte. Here the gametophyte, that is the parts we are studying, the rhizome, tiers of the rhizome. The rhizome, you're seeing it is the underground part, horizontal part, it grows inside the soil, just is the external structure I'm saying. It bears 3 rows of small brown or colorless leaves. If it is underground, on that also leaves will arise, but they'll not perform photosynthesis. That's why they are brown in color. And toward the lower side, it produces the rhizoids. Rhizoids, as you know, it helps in absorption of water as well as minerals. The cells of the rhizoids are, they'll store food materials also, that is oil globules are present in the cells. So the upright shoot, the second part, the stem part, upright shoot with the leaves. Internal structure of the upright shoot or the central that axis we are studying now. Sorry. First we'll go to the rhizome anatomy, then we'll go to the stem anatomy. Rhizome anatomy, which is very, very important. The rhizome part, it is somewhat triangular in shape. It consists of upper epidermis, a single layered epidermis you'll see, and from the epidermis, here and there, rhizoids will arise. In the diagram toward the left hand side, you are able to see the rhizoids which are arising there. So, rhizoids, they'll arise from single layered epidermis. Inside the epidermis, you will see the cortex-like region. So inside that, you will see second part, that is hypodermis. This hypodermis is present in three regions. Dark color regions you are seeing, that ridge-like structures, triangular I said no. So during just below the ridges, hypodermal strips you are seeing, black colored cells. So this hypodermis, it gives mechanical support. It is made up of sclerenchyma. In between the hypodermis, just below the epidermis, besides hypodermis, just below the epidermis, you will see that is central region with, that is cortex like cells are present inside this. These are multi-layered. Multi-layered cortex is present here, and which helps in, it may store that is food materials. Then innermost layer of the cortex, that is here endodermis, large celled endodermis, elongated cells you are seeing in the endodermis. It is single layered. Just beside the hypodermis, also you are able to see the endodermis. Hypodermis will extend inside the endodermis also up to the pericycle. So single layered endodermis is seen, elongated cells, and inside the endodermis you are seeing pericycle. Single layered pericycle is seen. So pericycle onwards, actually that is the stellar region. But bryophytes are non-vascular plant. Here vascular bundle, xylem and phloem are not well developed. But these are highly developed bryophytes. So they'll show some of the that is higher plants characteristics. So pericycle is seen. Inside the pericycle, you will see xylem and phloem like cells. So here you are seeing the hydrome cells, which are larger. They are similar to the xylem cells of the higher plants. And in between the hydrome, you're seeing the steroids. Steroids or the sterome, that complete region. So that steroids or the sterome region, it is equal to the phloem of higher plants. And at the center layer of cells, you'll see. So this rhizome of Polytrichum, it shows somewhat similar character to that of pteridophytes. That is vascular bundles like tissues are present here. Hydrome and leptome. That is hydrome or steroid, or it is also called as leptome, like tissue. Next comes the leaf anatomy. In this diagram, you are able to see the leaf anatomy or the upper diagram. So leaf of this, they are somewhat thin-walled cells. At the middle, it is thick-walled. Here, the specialty of the leaves, they cover the stem up to certain extent. Here you're seeing the external structure. Once we'll go through that external structure, then we'll go to the anatomy. Leaf. Here you're seeing midrib like region is thick. At the midrib region it is thick, but toward the margin it will be thin. And these leaves, it covers the stem up to certain extent. So sheathing leaf base like structure is seen here. The margins are only 1 cell thick. The lower surface is bound by epidermis. Here the leaf lower side epidermis is present. 1 or 2 layers of sclerenchymatous tissue are present above the epidermis. Means above the lower epidermis you will see sclerenchymatous tissue. The central tissue of the leaf is composed of thin-walled parenchymatous tissue. That is in the midrib-like region, parenchymatous tissue is present. Above this, again, sclerenchymatous tissue is present, which gives hardness or rigidity to the leaf. But toward the upper surface is formed by a layer of cells from which arise numerous lamellae. So in this diagram that you can see the lamellae, which is a photosynthetic region. So here I think you are able to see the upper diagram, that is the tiers of leaf, transverse section of the leaf. Lower side, you're seeing the lower epidermis, and this lower epidermis, which is extended toward the sides also, it forms a wing-like structure over the leaf. At the middle, it is multi-layered leaf, and toward the margin, it is few layers of cells are present, or single layer cells are present, which protect the leaf from desiccation. So above the lower epidermis, you're seeing some dark colored cells, that is sclerenchymatous cells. And above that white color cells, what you're seeing, they are parenchymatous cells. That is the lower part. But toward the upper surface of the leaf, we are seeing some filament like cells. So these are the photosynthetic cells or filamentous cells, or they are also called as lamellae. So these lamellae, they are arranged one above the other, but the terminal cells of the lamellae is somewhat bilobed. Here in this diagram, it is not that much clear, but actually it is bilobed. So because it is divided into two lobes, that's why it is covered at, means it joins with the adjacent cells also. So it forms a complete upper epidermis like structure, but there is no upper epidermis. These filamentous cells, they are photosynthetic cells. They contain chlorophyll pigments, and that helps in photosynthesis. In between this filamentous structure, you'll see gaps. So these are air gaps. So for photosynthesis, for a gaseous exchange, there are no stomata, and for photosynthesis also carbon dioxide is required, and for respiration oxygen is required. So this through the gap which is present between the chloronchymatous, that lamellae, that air gaps that are helpful in exchange of gases. So that is about the internal structure of the leaf. Next is internal structure of the stem. Stem internal structure. If you take the TS of a stem, there you can see here also three parts are seen in any stem. Higher plant stem, here also just like
Innova?
that. Here also you can see
అంతేగా
layers, that is epidermis. You'll see the cortex and the central part, that is a vascular part, but it is vasculature is not developed in bryophytes. The outermost layer, yes, the outermost layer is single layered epidermis. Usually the stem, here in the diagram you're seeing a single layered epidermis, but this epidermis is not a single, means not a line like structure, exactly cylindrical. It is divided into lobe, because on the leaf you will see that its leaves are arranged, spirally arranged. So lobe like structures you will see. So anyhow, single layered epidermis. Just below the epidermis, you will see the parenchymatous region. So this through this epidermis, leaf traces will also arise. Here you are seeing just below the epidermis, you are seeing the patches. Those patches, they'll supply water, so they are called as leaf traces. And beside, means inside the epidermis, you will see the parenchymatous cortex region. Cortex is usually made up of parenchymatous cells. So these parenchymatous cells, it stores for that is food materials, as well as outer cells. They'll store chlorophyll, so it helps in photosynthesis. Then it ends with a single layered endodermis like structure. Endodermis is present. Inside the endodermis, you will see a single pericycle region. Pericycle region onwards, the vascular tissue like parts are present. So single layered epidermis, pericycle, sorry, it is pericycle. Inside the pericycle, you will see xylem and phloem like tissue. The central region is called as hydrome. Hydrome, it helps in conduction of water, that is equal to the xylem tissue, and this hydrome is surrounded by leptome. So that leptome It is similar to the phloem tissue of higher plants. It helps in carrying the food materials. So this is about the stem anatomy. Next comes the reproduction. Reproduction in Polytrichum, it takes place by